Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I want to talk about why I decided to basically 3 months ago pack up all my stuff and move from Denmark to Dubai. So I actually did the move in September this year, but the story actually begins in April 2022. So my agency, if you don't know, I run an agency where we help e-commerce brands scale with paid ads on a commission basis. We just started growing like crazy in the first 3 months of the year. And basically in March, we had double our revenue compared to what we did in just January that same year. And so at that time, when we had this massive growth, I was actually living in Spain because I decided to take a 6-month monk mode. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend you watch it. But I was doing a 6-month monk mode in Spain, and generally I found myself being much more happy there compared to Denmark. And not only more happy, but also felt more productive, more motivated, mainly because of the environment and the weather compared to Denmark, where I'm from. So a little bit of backstory about Denmark. Not only is it cold, miserable, and dark all day, it's also the highest tax country. But when you live in a high tax country, at least in Denmark, there's a lot of people employed by the government. And when you're employed by the government, generally that doesn't breed ambition. So for me, at the stage and the season I'm currently in my life, I'm 24. The only thing that really goes on in my day-to-day is business. I want to make money. I want to do amazing work for our clients, and I want to prove to myself that I can run a successful business. So really the driving force for me and why I wanted to move away from Denmark, if we just don't factor in where I'm actually moving, but we just take location out of it, is because my game plan for the next 3 years, because I'm only 24, is to increase my earning capacity as much as possible. And really over the next 3 years, I'm trying to increase my earning capacity to a level where I'm financially set for the rest of my life. And that might seem like a bold move or a bold statement, but it's truly something for me, at least I feel like I can achieve. So after the Spain trip came to an end, I very quickly realized, coming back to Denmark, I had this feeling that I outgrew the place. And really I could just feel that it wasn't something for me anymore. It wasn't a country where I felt motivated, inspired. I didn't feel like I was around like-minded people. And that was something I really craved. So start thinking of all the places where I could move, where is all the places on earth where I can tick all the boxes that's important for me, right? Like where can I feel motivated? Where can I feel inspired? Where's good weather? All these sort of boxes that I experienced in Spain, but ideally, is there any other places on earth I can move to where I can experience more of that, right? So Dubai very quickly came up on that list, not only because I've been here before, but I also thought about it back in April when we started growing like crazy, because one of my friends told me he was moving here, so we had the discussion about moving to Dubai, why it would be a great play for both of us. He's also young and want to achieve the same in life as I do. But really going through that list, there was 3 boxes primarily that Dubai ticked off for me that made me settle on the place. So the first reason really was environment, and I'm pretty sure you've seen the videos as well on YouTube or Instagram about the Dubai lifestyle. But if you don't know, it's just a very luxurious place. There's a lot of high-rise building. Every building has their own gym, pool, these crazy amenities, sauna, steam room. I have that in my building. And generally, you'll find things here you just won't find anywhere else. But also, don't get me wrong, compared to Europe, at least living in Spain, for example, it's much more expensive. It can at least be. Dubai is sort of a place where you can actually live quite cheap, but you can also live very expensive. You can easily spend millions of dollars a month if you want to do that in Dubai. So you can say they accommodate for everyone, right? But what happens is when you live around people living a luxurious lifestyle, those people also have to make money, right? They can't fund it if they don't have the money in their bank account. So those are those people I want to be surrounded with, right? Those are like-minded people that needs to make money to fund their lifestyle. And generally after being here for 3 months, that's also what I've found. Every single person I met here comes to Dubai to improve their life, to be in a better position than what they were in before they came here. And then everyone's game plan is basically then to move away from Dubai once they're financially set. And then besides being, financially set and being more motivated, I'm not gonna lie, it's very motivating to have people drive Lambos and Rolls Royce everywhere. People wearing APs, it's the most casual thing to do. It's just great for motivation. It might be materialistic and some people might look down on it, but for me at least, that makes me motivated to make more money. And I generally think if I can use wearing an AP as motivation to take my income from 20 to 100K, for example, and then I go spend 100K on an AP or a Rolex, I'm still making 100K a month. So I don't actually mind having a materialistic motivation for making money. Second reason is weather. So for me, I find the weather in Dubai amazing, at least compared to Denmark. So some people might say, it's too hot for them. When I got here in September, for reference, it was 45 degrees. And yeah, it was pretty hot the first few days I got here, but you get accustomed accustomed to it pretty quickly. And I will say people online actually blow it out of proportions to something that is not. Like you can go for a run and not bring water with you. You can go for a walk and not feel like you're gonna die. And also the infrastructure is built around the hot climate, right? So during the summer months like July, August, September, and those sort of warmer months, people just meet up at malls or at restaurants, right? And you just jump in a cab and you don't really have to be outside. Like you're not gonna die. And then on top of that, the sun here is actually very consistent. So in Denmark, we have this phenomenon called winter depression, which is basically what happens during winter time when we have only around 5 or 6 hours of sunlight a day. And during the winter, it just gets very depressing because even when there is sunlight, it's just dark and moody. But in Dubai, the sun actually doesn't change that much. So between summer and winter, where you have the longest days and the shortest days, it's only around a 3-hour difference compared to Denmark, where there's around a 12-13-hour difference. So it's much more consistent. It kind of feels like you're on vacation during the winter months in Dubai because the weather is just so nice. It's like European summer, but just during the winter, and you don't have those like very short days where it's just dark pretty much all the time, which definitely helps with productivity and just general motivation, and you just feel more happy overall as a human. And then the third reason is taxes. So you probably knew this was coming, right? Like, let's be honest, there's a lot of places around the world with amazing environment and amazing weather, but those places can also have high taxes like Spain do, at least compared to Dubai. So as an entrepreneur myself, trying to make a lot of money, it feels good that you can keep everything for yourself, right? There's no hidden tax in Dubai. Like, it's truly 0%. There's nothing hidden, like some place you have to like government under the table. There's nothing like that. So for me, trying to increase my active income and, you know, make 7 figures or multiple 7 figures a year, that's sort of my goal. It really becomes a no-brainer because if I were to make $1 million in Denmark, I would have to pay around 600 to 650k in income taxes. If I wanted those, like let's say $1 million in net worth, if I wanted that in personal net worth, I would have to pay $600,000 in income tax, right? That's pretty crazy. So if we do the math on that, if I were to make $1 million in Dubai, I would have $1 million in my personal net worth. If I were to do that in Denmark, to have $1 million in my personal name, I would have to work 2.5 years just to achieve the same $1 million, right? That's a long ass time. And for me, being a 24-year-old entrepreneur trying to make a lot of money, it's really just discouraging, you know, having to pay 60% income tax when I can move somewhere else which much more competitive. Like, the way I see it is, if it costs me, let's say $3,000 or $5,000 a month extra living in Dubai, but it puts me in an environment where I'm more motivated to work 12-hour days and increase my chance of making 7 figures a year, that's a really good trade, even though I have to give up, you know, being close to friends and family. Basically, what I can achieve here in Dubai in 3 years, it would take me 6 to 9 years to achieve the same thing in personal net worth in Denmark. And when I return back home, I'm still gonna be 27. So I'll still be, as Gary Vee says, young as fuck, right? And have my whole entire life in front of me. And I think objectively, that's a really good play for me because not only will I be 27, I'll be super young, have my finances sorted for the rest of my life, but also, lastly, my entire world right now revolves around business. That's all I'm thinking about. So I might as well put myself in an environment where I'm with like-minded people that are also trying to achieve greatness. So if you've been thinking about moving to Dubai or just moving outside of your own country just to experience new culture or tax benefits or weather or whatever, here's my tips on how you actually make it work for you. I would say you have to understand and be okay with the fact that it's going to require an aggressive amount of work hours. And it's not certain that it will pay off, but that's what you're working towards, right? That's why you need to be putting in 12 to 15-hour days and just work like a madman to try and make this work. And there will be a lot of sacrifices you have to make along the way. The first sacrifice you'll have to make is just move away from your friends and family, right? That can be tough for a lot of people. So that's something you need to come to terms with and be okay. But with that being said, though, I will say if you're trying to just level up in life in general and trying to reach that next level financially or whatever your goals might be, I think it's a very healthy decision to move away and just remove yourself from all the distractions that you experience on a day-to-day basis, because you'll probably be thinking right now to yourself that you don't experience that many distractions. But believe me, when you actually move away from everything, you'll realize how calm it actually is just living on your own and how many distractions you actually had before in your life. And just by removing those distractions, I guarantee you that your life will grow exponentially. At least that's what it's done for me. And besides all the monetary gains, you'll probably learn a lot about your character as well and who you actually are as a person. This is my 4th time moving away from my home, and each and every time I've learned something new about myself. So with that being said, guys, that pretty much sums up today's video about why I moved to Dubai. I hope you got some value from it. and also hope you learned a little bit about me and what's going on in my life. If you have any questions about moving to a different country, please let me know in the comment section. I would love to answer a few questions. Also, if you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I'll be releasing a lot more content about me and my personal life, but also about advertising for e-commerce brands. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.